So, Robin, thank you very much for being willing to share your story, and congratulations on receiving a nomination for a Rising Phoenix Award.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Would you mind sharing with me a little bit about the journey you've been on and the kind of the bumps in the road that you've run into along the way?
Okay. All right. Yes, I lost my mother to cancer a few years ago. And then 4 years after that, I lost my 24-year-old daughter, Caprice, to lymphoma. And that was just life altering.
I'm sure. I'm so sorry.
It took me quite a while to process. Yeah, it took me quite a while to process through all the range of emotions after, losing someone that was not only my daughter, but we were very close and we shared a lot of common interests. And she also was very much of a social advocate and volunteer, and she was working on her master's in nonprofit management. At the time she passed away, she was going to Grand Valley State University. So she passed away. It took me a while to get my footing and try to decide what could I do now with my life. I did not want to get caught in the depths of despair. And I had gone to some different grief support groups. And some people, after many, many years, were still very stricken with grief, either from losing a spouse or from losing their child.
Yes.
And I just thought, I really want to have a purpose-filled life that gives me satisfaction, and that when I do see my daughter again, I just want her to say, "Hey, Mom, you did good." So I didn't want to be wasting time, just in the negative space. So
yes.
Then I decided, I saw La Casa in Livingston County, which is a shelter and so much more. They help all victims of abuse, child abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault under one roof. And we are the only agency in Michigan that does that, and one of few in the nation that really does a whole wraparound program and provides more than 30 services to really help these victims and survivors work through the myriad of emotions that goes with those experiences, and then help give them the tools and the skills and the information and the resources to empower them to heal from trauma and rebuild their lives. So when I saw there was an opening there in communications, which is my field, journalism and communications, I thought this would be a good fit for me, and I can see that they need me. So I set out to talk with them and eventually was hired on, and then just initiated a whole rebranding program for them, and new logo design, new messaging, just a complete series, and which we have continued to build on over the 10 years that I've been there.
Wow.
And it's been remarkable. It's been really remarkable to see the community response and the response from victims and survivors, because we really work to become more approachable. Like the old logo had like shattered glass in it, and a lot of things that looked scary, and a lot of black and white photography. So we really work to turn that around, just as the agency is doing as well, with working with survivors, just having a lot of positivity and inspiring them, and then watching their courage as they go through just really transforming their relationships with their children, and in their entire life frame. So
Understood.
That's been so rewarding to be a part of that organization. Yes, La Casa helps victims of child abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault.
Hmm.
And they are the only agency in the state that provides complete wraparound services for all victims of abuse under one roof, and one of just a few in the nation that also um, does this same model, which is so beneficial for victims and survivors because they can come for all the services they need with their children, form lasting bonds with their counselors, and it eliminates transportation problems for them and scheduling problems. In other counties, often victims or their children have to go out of county to receive certain services and to go to different agencies. So we're really proud of the model that La Casa has put forth, and we get some wonderful feedback from victims and survivors about all the different services and programs we provide for them in one location.
Love it. I love what you guys do. And it sounds to me like as you've gotten involved with the role that you're in, you've been able to help to kind of maybe repackage or reposition the La Casa in the community. And I think that's pretty transformative as well. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Sure. Can you say a little bit about kind of the within Livingston County, how many people does La Casa work with on a regular basis?
Well, more than 4,000 victims and survivors walk through our doors every year.
Oh,
So
man.
we serve a myriad of victims and survivors, all age groups, all economic groups, men and women, and boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't realize that we serve men, but we have had men stay at our crisis shelter, and some have brought their children with them. Men also are victims of abuse.
Yes.
We also have men who are sexual assault victims, and both male and female former military veterans. We have many of those people come and avail themselves to counseling and support. And whether someone has been sexually assaulted, hours ago or years ago, all our services, counseling services, are free for victims and survivors of abuse and sexual assault.